Gaffer, thank you for joining us. We didn't necessarily do it the easy way, but that's another 3 points picked up here at home to Tranmere. Can I get your thoughts on the game?
Yes, satisfying would be the word I would use, because we knew it was going to be a difficult game. We kind of felt that they would sit deep and bank in and make it hard for us, which they did. And of course they scored on a breakaway and quite early on in the game, and then obviously it becomes even harder then because obviously we're chasing a deficit. But really proud of the players to stick to the task. I thought the execution of winning the game was excellent. We kept possession. We didn't create loads, but we knew we never would, based on the fact that they sat so deep and nullified spaces for us, and we had to be patient. And my players showed a real calmness and a real patience today. So yeah, really proud.
Yeah, we've spoken a lot about character in the last few weeks, especially at that game against Stockport, where again we had to come back from behind, and we've done that twice today, and today we ended up with the win. Is that sort of just show how impressive this side is and how much we've progressed, the mentality as well?
Yeah, we've got a real togetherness here. The lads are great. They work extremely hard together. They're in every day and work hard, and they've built that togetherness and they've built that trust with each other. There's a real belief in the dressing room that we can win. Every time we put a kit on, we feel like we can go and win. And even when we go behind, it was a hard game today in terms of how they played against us, but the lads just stuck to the task. And we spoke at half time about spaces we could find, which I thought we did it brilliantly in the second half, and it opened more spaces up, and then obviously we scored 3 good goals. Obviously disappointed with the goals we conceded. We need to kind of nullify that, which we will, and we'll work on it, and we'll get better at that. But I'm really proud of the players to stick towards the task that was needed today. I know a section of supporters are asking us to boot the ball forward. It wasn't the right thing to do, in my opinion. When you're playing against a low block like that, the last thing you want is just to put the ball forward into where they would just kind of defend that and eat it up and potentially counter-attack that. So we just wanted to be patient, keep moving the ball left to right, right to left. And albeit it might become or seem a bit boring at times, but it is the right way to play against that low block. And then we've got our just rewards, obviously, at the end.
You mentioned there at the start of that question the togetherness of the squad. How important is it that stems to all members of the squad? Because today, Crawley, obviously, he's took his chance well, hasn't he, from the edge of the box, coming off of the bench. And how much of an importance is it to you that the togetherness stems throughout all the players? Because as Crawley's shown, they can all have an impact, can't they?
Well, of course, yeah, and I think that's down to kind of how we manage the group. We have a real togetherness as a group of staff towards the players. We work extremely hard, not just on the boys who are playing in the first team, but the boys who are, kind of not in the squad as well. I've sat down last week and went through Sonny Fish, who's a player who's out on loan. We've gone through all his clips and kind of made sure that he feels cared for and wanted. And a big part of his learning is to go through his clips while he's on loan. We make sure that all the players, every player here is important to us, and that's kind of what we've built as a group of staff. And I feel that that togetherness is apparent to see on the pitch.
Yeah, and also I just want to touch on what you said earlier on as well about how we sort of had to adapt today. And obviously we're playing against, as you said, Tranmere with the low block. It's impressive, isn't it, that the lads can pick up, so many different ideas around the pitch when they're so used to sort of playing, fast and attacking football. But we do occasionally have to change, and it did work today.
Well, I knew that the passing would be really high. I knew that the possession would be high. I knew that our pass accuracy would be high. I knew the XG would be low, just because of the nature of how we were going to play against the team that I felt was going to do that. Obviously, it made it harder when they went and scored in the, don't know what minute it was, quite early, 20 minutes was it? It then became difficult, but we stuck to our task really, really well. And I'm proud of the players to kind of show that patience to win a game.
Yeah, and we move on to an exciting game against Grimsby next week. Another week on the training ground, and I suppose plenty of time to reflect on the game because, as you said, pleasing to score 3 goals and win it in that fashion, but also a chance to work on those defensive areas as well.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. We'll be watching the game back tomorrow. I will be certainly, and clipping it all up ready for Monday morning. We debrief the game as always. We let the lads speak. It's a learning kind of environment that we create. And then, get ready for what's going to be another hard game against a really tough side in Grimsby.
Yeah, and finally, from a club point of view, as always, we talk about the fans. we spoke a little bit earlier about, how they just need to be patient sometimes, and, it's almost like trust you, you know what you're doing sort of thing. But, great support again today.
Fans are great, I get it. I understand why, we're losing the game or drawing a game and they want the ball to go forward. I understand it, I do get it. I'm a football supporter myself, but, we work extremely hard on the training ground about kind of detail of what we need to do and when we need to do it, and the players know, and I understand the frustration. I do get it, and sometimes when you play against teams who put a low block on against you, it can sometimes seem boring, and you kind of get anxious and want the ball going forward. We have to pick the right moments to do so. But I completely get it. Fans are great again today. The atmosphere is fantastic.
Thank you, Scott. Cool, Nick, thank you for joining us. It's about time we grabbed you. You keep scoring goals. How was that game today against Tranmere?
No, it was brilliant. It was a tough game. Showed a lot of character to come back. It happens in football. You go down, you've got to fight together and get back into it. And that's what we did today.
Yeah, we spoke to the gaffer just a minute ago, and we touched on the togetherness of the side, and particularly touched on that Stockport game. Obviously, we come from behind 3-2, and Crawley we get a goal late on, and today it's roles reversed. We're the ones that have punished the side that were ahead twice. How good is the togetherness of the squad at the moment?
Well, it's brilliant. It's showing out there, isn't it? And it's showing what a great squad we have. Lola's came on, done brilliant to get a goal. When we needed, and yeah, it's just there's a great togetherness and a real fighting spirit where if we go down, it doesn't matter. We got each other's backs, and we go out there and try and put the result right.
Yeah, you're now the longest serving player at the club, so
Yeah.
you would have seen more than anyone the sort of the mentality shift that we've had from previous years.
Yeah.
It must be pleasing for you to become part of this sort of new squad, as it were, because you haven't been here that long in the grand scheme of things. But how pleasing is it, and how proud are you of your recent performances and the team as well?
Yeah, no, obviously it's been last year was quite difficult, but fought through it together. Me and some of the gaffer and some of the boys that were here last year as well. But it's just a massive difference just going into every game, believing that we should win every single game, and that's the mentality that the gaffers, drummed into us, and rightly so, because we're good enough.
Yeah, and the gaffer's given you plenty of credit in recent games. We spoke to him a few games ago, and he said that you're one of the best in the position, if not the best in the league in your position. But perhaps it'd be nice if you could pop up with a few more goals and assists. And you've obviously taken that to heart, because that's your 4th goal of the season now. Absolutely crazy form. How's it been recently in the recent games?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not trying to think about goals and assists too much. I'm just trying to enjoy it, to be honest. I feel like it's a nice pressure to have, but I think I'm in love with the system that the gaffer's playing, and he's obviously, he's put full trust in me. And listen, if I can keep repaying him, then that's what I want to do. But I'm loving every minute of playing in this system.
In a very important goal today, perhaps not one of your finest that you'll ever score. Talk us through it. It almost looked like it hit you for a minute, but
oh god, no! Come on, did you watch it? No, it was a good, quick, short corner from Glads and Das. I think it shows we're switched on, and I sort of read it and I thought, oh, he's gonna put one in here. So I just sort of made a darting run, and as the ball came in, I just slotted it with the outside of my foot, just caught it nicely, and it just kind of stunned him. So it was brilliant.
Yeah, important time as well, considering that we'd just come back behind after Darcy drew us level. But again, it's just touching on that togetherness. How quick it is. It's so easy for teams, isn't it, to perhaps get your head down and in that moment go, oh, we were just level, and it showed, doesn't it? Because eventually we went and got.
Well, it shows the characters that we have. With all the players that are on the pitch. The staff. The boys on the bench. Myself as well. Like. We're fighters, and we're going to carry on being that way, and it doesn't matter what the score is, we'll keep giving our best and fighting to the end. Yeah,
and Gaffer also said as well, the togetherness of the whole squad, isn't it? Because obviously yourself, you started every game this season so far, but you've got someone like Lolos who perhaps hasn't been given his full chance yet, which is credit to the other players for keeping him out of the Scott side, and he's still got that desire to get out there and score winners, and you must see that on the training ground as well.
Yeah, 100%. He's a top player, Clyde, and I think today just is he showed a little glimpse of what he can do for this club. So the fans should be really excited to have him here, because he's a top player, and I see it day in and day out.
Yeah, and just want to touch on the fans. You've obviously built a special relationship with them over the last few years. We keep having a moment at the end of the game when we play Tequila over the PA system. How special it is it to reward them? After you've been here. We spoke about it in this interview. You've been here a while now, and we're finally starting to sort of get some real consistency going. We've always been good here, but it's delightful to watch the moment, isn't it?
I love every single one of those fans. With all my heart, they're brilliant. The support that they give myself and also the whole team, it really gives us a boost, and we're making this place a fortress, and it's not easy for opponents to come here. The crowd are on them, they're really behind us, and they do give us that extra support to keep fighting and try and win.
Yeah, finally, from a club point of view, how far do you think we can go this season? It's a question that we've asked a lot of the lads this season, but this is proving to be a really special squad, isn't it?
It is. Let's just enjoy today, and let's take it day by day. It's not good to keep jumping into the future. Let's just enjoy the present. We'll reflect on the game, see where we can improve, and just keep trying to enjoy it week in, week out.
Summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.